Alright guys, welcome back. Game number 3 currently playing out here in the Legacy of the OlimoLeague. And I'm just going to take a moment to apologize to you, because I'm sure you're looking at the minimap going, why are there no players spawned? The new transparent feature in Legacy of the Void looks absolutely horrible on maps with certain textures, and this is sadly one of them. I'm such an advocate for change. I've actually gotten out of my way to whisper like 5 people from Blizzard folks, message them on Skype, send them emails and say, why did you make this change? It's literally the worst thing about the beta right now. Anyways, calming myself. There was that thing where you're like, oh, there's no reinforcements. There's some map we were casting on Legacy, and it's like, there's no reinforcements on the way. Oh wait, no, there's 40 lings. We just can see them because the map is so bad.
Yes, that was a map. But yes,
Iron Fortress, I think, is what maybe. Anyway, spawning in the bottom right corner of the map, ladies and gentlemen, we got our red Terran player. It's the Korean Miso.
Neighbor left as the purple Protoss. It's Neeb.
And a big shout out to Extreme Purple in chat. I'm assuming he's letting us know because he bought them. But Slippers number 76 just purchased apparently, guys. So that's pretty cool. Everyone wants to game like Kane. Get that macro on, yo.
Raises your APM by 20.
Or makes it 20 if you're wearing them on your hands.
If you're wearing them like Kane.
No, but in all seriousness, I think it's really cool the way people support things in the community. I mean, we've very much distanced ourselves from like getting gaming affiliates, codes, and all that stuff. We love doing giveaways. We love that we can support moms in Peru and help promote these really funny but incredibly comfortable looking slippers. And I just can't tell you guys how big and dumb of a smile I have when we're watching WCS. And there's Kane on the main stage just kind of shuffling out with the slippers on his feet. That is a cool guy. But Reaper is going to come across the map for the 3rd time in a row, but also the Adept kind of here to counter it. I mean, the Mothership Core, let's be honest, between HOTS and now, the Mothership Core it's been what it needed to be. It stops Reapers dead in their tracks. The Adept in this instance, not as big of a necessity, but it's nice to have. As we saw last game, it got some pretty good counter harass down. Yeah, moments like this, I'm like, is there even any, like, why would you even go for a Reaper anymore?
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, no, because, like, last game he got it out. It looks like he's going to get it out again. And it's still good for Reapering, good for scouting.
I don't think he should have gotten that out. Neeb kind of, like, was mid-swing and canceled the attack twice because of how slow the Adept shoots. I guess he was not just ready for it.
It's so hard to adapt to these things. Adept to these things.
Yeah, it's so hard to adapt to the Adapts. Yeah.
I do the same thing when I'm microing stalkers because I micro them like stim units, and it's not the same.
Well, the problem I have with the attack on these things is the actual attack speed. The cooldown's no problem. It's the wind-up that's so bad. Look at that. It's like he's getting ready to pitch the World Pitch Finals to baseball or something. I mean, it takes so long to actually throw the ball out.
She's actually telling her like opponent she's about to kill like what type of throw she's doing. So it's like the 2.
Yeah, it's
shake her head. 1, shake her head.
No, you ever play pool and you're like you gotta call a corner pocket or whatever, like when it comes down to 8-ball. Then you gotta call the shots. It's like, all right, over there and
call
pow.
It, and then you take like 20 seconds to get into like the really like groove, right?
Yeah, sounds about right. Real sports. We do have the Nexus down out of Neeb this time, though, so no one-base BS this game. Oracle on the way. Didn't get a lot of use out of last game. I'm really hoping to see some stasis traps this time. One thing that I've learned from our experience is if a Terran player is really well prepared, you know, they got the turrets up early, there's Marines between all the bases. Sometimes just throwing a stasis trap down the mineral line can really put them on tilt, because it will actually, if you put it in the middle of the mineral line, catch every SCV. It's about like 30 seconds of no mining.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, Twilight's on the way. Last time he did go up to those Colossus. Wondering if we're going to see that again, or if he's going to try and do, for instance, Charge Out Archon, which still have the same exact problems they did in Heart of the Swarm, but wouldn't mind still too good against them.
So I really don't think the Colossus is that bad. Last game was perhaps a bit of an over example of how it can still be used, because that was, you know, you're not going to be defending against an SCV pull all in all that often in a Legacy of the Void, but it just showed that, you know, you put them behind the army, you force out Vikings out of your opponent. There's still a use of the Colossus. I definitely think Disruptors are better, especially when you're fighting giant bio balls like that. I mean, if you had the same number of Colossus, but maybe -2 and +1 Disruptor instead, oh, that wouldn't have even been close.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I can't really tell, right? Because Miso is really the player here that's... I mean, they both are, to be honest. They're both playing very hard of the Swarm. not just in their composition, because it looks like Terran's been the same composition, but in the way that they're playing, you know? I just watched Xenocider stay on Puck's side of the base the entire time, and Puck was just like, he couldn't do anything. Instead, Miso was giving him plenty of time.
I don't imagine those were the noises Puck was making when he was playing.
I don't know, man. When like things are dying, he's probably like, no.
Stop it! I mean, I know it's the noises I make. Leave me alone! It's just, they're probably a family, man! But
you know what?
Someone like
being
Puck...
on the macro side just lets you whine more.
Yeah. Yeah, being on the macro side, all I hear is, I don't know what they're doing, you didn't tell me well enough, Refkin!
You don't!
Archon mode is so much
you
fun,
are my
guys.
scouting!
Despite all the jokes and shots we're taking right now, Archon mode is a hell of a lot of fun, and I really recommend anyone who gets into the beta, grab your friend, doesn't matter how good or bad you are. Archon mode, if you communicate well with one another, is hilarious.
It's still nothing compared to the first Archon mode, the Cannon Rush.
Yeah, you left the game on me. One probe into the game and you left. Alright, so now we got a pylon set up down here. There's a depth in the back of the army. It's not really going to bring a lot extra to the fight. But it can scout, it can run up there. Scan's going to see what's going on. Miso pre-pulls some SCVs. Lots of Marauders here on the front lines. But that +1 armor is going to help quite a bit for Kentrick. Again, for those who don't know, the Marauder damage is split into 2 shots each. Armor is twice as effective. Doesn't make it unstoppable, but it's even better versus Marauders than it was before.
Yeah. Well, luckily Zealots, you know, they don't have 7 armor, so it's still okay.
It feels like it, though.
No.
This is not a good fight for Neeb, as he does kind of get shredded on the front lines. I thought it was the Zealots that would be doing the shredding with the force fields going down, but lots of the Marauders and Marines safely bunkered up behind it, but more depth warping in. And you know what? These are pretty good versus Marines. That bonus damage, it's a slow attack speed, but it is taking them out systematically. Another bunker going to go down. Zealots with a full surround. This is not looking good for Miso. Oracle comes into the backside and says, hey, let me get some shots in too.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you know, you look at this, it looks pretty strong, but a couple of Widow Mines really could have changed. I mean, it could have made it look so stupid to actually do it, honestly, if there's 5 Widow Mines waiting.
Yeah.
As it is, he still might clean it up. More charge lock being warped. This is what Marauders are bad against.
At what cost, Sandra? Look at that SCV supply count right now. We got Archons on the backside of this. Even if he fully pushes this back, and even though he's on 3 CCs, he's down to 15 workers.
Yeah. No, again, if he got Widow Mines, he would have a composition that is just frankly, like, better.
I agree.
But he's not getting it, so there is no, like, well, he has tech over his opponent. He doesn't. Drops are going to be very hard to do because there are feedbacks, not Colossus. He's actually looking not so great.
This is an instance of people saying, you know, the Cranes are going to come in a white face, but Neeb saying, I don't think so. Force fields go down, they trap some of the Marauders. Medevacs try and pick them, get out of there, but the Medevacs themselves are really low. There's not a lot of energy either. The Archon's kind of stuck in the back. If Neeb wants to micro a little bit, maybe that fight would have gone different. But that was a good holdout of Miso, and a big part of that was having half the Archons. The biggest part of the fight, not even in the battle.
Yeah. It's so these charge lot warp-ins are honestly what's so scary about these type of all-ins. This is an all-in that existed in Liberty, Heart of the Storm, Charge at Archon. These Zealots, they're just going to be surprisingly difficult to deal with, especially now that the Marauder is nerfed. Because you are still going very Marauder-heavy compositions. Just have it from Heart of the Swarm. Why? Like, the factory is down. Even one amount of time would be so helpful. It's an EMP to the Archons.
Yeah, I'm just really hoping that Neeb doesn't start over-dedicating to this. He did take a third, so he's thinking about macro behind this. He's got to recognize that he's ahead. I mean, there's so many... What little SCVs there are, they're not even mining. They're on the front lines ready to repair. So much of this is what Neeb has seen, and so much is what Neeb has to know as just being this crazy advantage.
Yeah. Miso is starting to replace those SCVs just very, very slowly. Just simply doesn't have the money to produce 3 SCVs at a time. We have more depths warping in fact. This is interesting. I mean, I know they're good against the Marines, but...
no, he doesn't have Shockwave.
It was about these... It usually was about these Marauders lasting through more than the Marines.
Breaks his own force fields. Awkward.
So awkward. But I guess there are quite a few Marines now. They are, of course, the cheaper alternative when you're down in economy. They just deal that damage pretty fast, but no room to make more bunkers. Actually decides to try and get +1 armor. Yeah, okay.
Well, the engagements here, man, I was feeling so good for Neeb, but he's just not able to find an angle of attack. He doesn't want to push up that ramp. There's so much bio now. Before it was such a small amount, that's where he was really getting that snowball effect from. But Neeb's sitting on 61 army supply. It's scary to look at this many Marines.
Mm-hmm.
But even with mules being as cool as they are, he's at half the income of Neeb. Ghost Academy on the way. He's looking for those EMPs.
They're so much more expensive than just getting a couple Widow Mines, though. I mean, I realize that they're probably less likely to die, although there is no observer, so that's not necessarily true. This could have been a lot better. There's the first Widow Mine to be made! Yay!
Hype!
Now he's gonna win for sure.
Yo, it'd be cool. Hallucinating a bunch of zealots. Put those up on the front lines to soak the hits. But Storm's on the way simultaneously with these ghosts, so EMPs, Storms. So much can go wrong on this ramp, because both players have to choke, right? The Bio gets caught, Storm hits him, boom, a lot of health loss. The Protoss army moves up that ramp, boom, EMP goes down, all the shield's gone. This fight really could go either way, and they're on the precipice of really just taking a bad engagement, both of them. But I feel like Neeb is in such a better spot to just disengage if he wants to. You know, he's still up in workers like crazy. 3 bases for him. He could advance his stack so much further if he'd like to. And Neeb's actually going to catch him with... Oh, he's going to catch him off guard with a Doom Drop. There's nothing at home. He's got to warp everything at home if he even predicts this is coming. He's got to be wondering, Neeb, the Neeb, man, he's got to be thinking, where's the army? Miso had a lot of Marines. He had a lot of Marauders. What happened?
Well, I was gonna point out that there's no observers, but that, doesn't really matter. It's not about the Widow Mines anymore. It's about this big Doom Drop in the 3rd. That is basically Neeb's only, mining base.
If he had a Dark Shrine, this would be so cool. He's gonna bulk up some Templar in the main, hopefully get some Storms off with them. Not sure if that'll hold. Sim City on the other side of the map, though, is just destroying this army. I didn't even realize how bad of a fight Neeb was taking back on the other side of the map. Everything's hiding behind the Raxus, choked in so badly. The Archons can't get in the fight. The Zealots certainly cannot. He's trying to tear down the Raxus to open a doorway to get involved in that fight.
Where did the medevacs go? That's actually, I guess they're over here. And he hasn't been able to reproduce any. That could be a problem for his force back at home.
Let's see if he's got the energy for Storms. He's got the tech for it. He's got about 3 Storms ready to go. Base trade status kind of in full swing. He does finally kill everything back on this side of the map. So, yeah, I mean, it is a base trade. Ace 1, Ace 2 in chat, guys. Storm going down to the main does catch some of the Marines. There's 2 more ready to go, though, and I think Neeb's got this. Unless some crazy throw comes down to it, even in a race, he should be able to take it. But he doesn't get both the Storms off, so I take all that back. He can't warp it anything else. All of his gateways are depowered. He did manage to sneak some probes out. Build 1 Nexus. Maybe.
Yeah, that's very important, but just looking at the armies, I still think that's too many Archons. Yes, you can kite Archons, but, eventually they actually do catch up, and, well, suddenly you take 2 splashes, and it's pretty bad.
I gotta kill this command center before it gets away, too. At least the other one is almost burning. The Stalker might be able to put it on fire. And if there's no buildings lifted, then it is gonna go in the favor of Neeb. He's gotta get that damage done as quick as he can, though, before he gets out of range. Archons have almost no range. It's not like Stalkers. This command center might just do it. Okay, he's alive. It's stupid, but he's still in the game. He doesn't have to float this to a position where he can mine, but, he doesn't die from having all those buildings destroyed. He still left up the starport, the factory, and the barracks. I'm not even watching the production tab right now, guys, because there's barely a Nexus right now. We're trying to see what's going down with what these armies are comprised of, and looks like there's 1 Templar. This is huge. That 1 Storm can go a long ways.
I can see Dead looks like a High Templar, too. I noticed that.
You know what? I'm wondering if, I guess feedback probably wouldn't be as effective. All these medevacs are going to be kind of low.
Actually, she looks a lot like a High Templar. She even got a cape going on.
No, it's a skirt.
It's
a beautiful dress. I'm pretty sure. That's fashion sense are a real big deal, right?
I think it's like a robe that's cut up at the bottom in different places.
Kind of like a toga.
Kind of, I guess.
All right, so Kendrick Neeb has 1 building remaining, and it's been scouted.
Under attack.
He has to guard this with his life. Now the thing is, there's a chance he risks his opponent maybe getting around the map, starting to drop that command center, build some mules. But I think both players are fully aware that nobody can build anything because of supply limits, especially if these depots go down. But that may not still be the case, because if he can get an SCV out or 2 before all these depots are down, there's still 4 in the main. He can't segment an army off to kill it. He has to defend this Nexus. That Stalker just hoping to get this thing burning just enough so that it stops getting away for free. But even that Stalker, it's so important to keep every unit here alive.
Yeah, plus he can just land it and repair it with mules.
Yeah, and that looks like it might just be the case. So still not even burning. The Stalker will go down. Zealot working diligently. Looks like we lost the starport, burned it down.
Okay, right.
It's got some money for mules. The Adept finds this CC, so he can't really land anything here. It's going to lift up. More force. You can lock down the rock tower, guarantee that there's only one way of an attack, but then it limits where he can go too. As there's a cooling tower. Unlike the Team Liquid map contest version of this map, this does actually cover the entire ramp. I don't like him pushing out like this, though.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like chokes are gonna favor him, and he almost did catch him on the ramp. That would have been really nice.
Couple of kills, got some sentries, or some force fields rather. He is trying to produce what little he can, and a Widow Mine. Oh, Widow Mine could go so far in this because there's no detection.
What happened to the other Widow Mine? Did it like?
I think he got it. I'm gonna assume with a storm, or maybe it uprooted, or I don't know. But it was over here and got
uprooted. That's too bad. Yeah, Widow Mines could very well be just like the way back into this game for sure. There's still possible situations where, well, first Miso could technically start to get an economy back once the Adept did.
Shoot something useful. Oh, that one armor hype on the workers keeps them from getting two-shot. That's nice.
Oh, very important. I thought it was going to be useless. That showed me. Oh, he's going to lose the CC.
That shut you up real quick.
Yeah, so but he could have lost 2 Archons for this. This was dangerous.
Yeah, I would even say pull back now, but he is going to go for the risk on this. Still protects his own Nexus. Slowly getting money so he can build pylons so he can maybe warp in something else, but I mean, I don't know what he's doing. He might even just be trying to get enough money to base race again, build something elsewhere.
You can't do it.
Don't use the Archon, man! You can just hallucinate 4 probes!
Oh, yeah! No way he's thinking of hallucinating.
Splash damage. That's so sick! I don't like it because of how low the shields are, but it does get rid of the Widow Mine. However, this is still looking pretty dicey. Down to the wire here in game number 3. One of these players is going to get knocked out after this engagement. And, that Widow Mine looking for some EMP action. Oh, don't overdo it!
The army is right there.
That on top of the fact he almost killed his own freaking Archon.
These Widow Mines are going to say, oh my god, the Widow Mine.
I just, for those who don't know, the reason we're talking about the hallucinations here is a bit funny is, if you hallucinate some units, you get more than 1 hallucination. So for example, if you hallucinate Zealots, you get 2 Zealot hallucinations. If you do probes, you get 4. And you could use any one of those 4 to trigger the Widow Mine. But both players are going to try and rebuild, and I gotta tell you, Zumbrub, it's my, like, wet dream that these two actually get to a point where they can macro again. Just to have it go so insane and so ridiculous. Because we got Chronos on the probes, we got mules for the SCVs, production's getting up on both sides. I guess technically speaking, Miso's got a small edge of the fact that his factory is down, he can actually produce, whereas Neeb can't get much of anything. Yeah. He's just building probes right now, it's all he can afford to do.
I mean, he's already down in army supplies, so in a best case scenario, like seriously, the micro is really, really good. Miso would win.
Nope.
Oh god. But now, the longer this game goes, it's actually still going to favor Miso. I actually don't know what Neeb's really going to be able to do here, except take one really good fight.
Yo, I'd love if he hallucinated one of those Phoenix and just flew them on top of the Marines in a way that had the Widow Mine detonate on them. Friendly fire, get a storm off on top of it immediately after.
Yeah, but that's why Miso is making sure to micro these Widow Mines.
Yeah. Some like Archon mode level of micro required for that.
Yeah, he's trying. He's trying to do that. You know, Miso is supply blocked, and once he's on supply block, suddenly he's gonna be a couple more Marines, even more Widow Mines.
Yeah. Still no effect or gateway down. He's still going for more. I don't know why. I guess he's so supply blocked. That's how bad it is. But starting a gateway just so you can get even Adepts wouldn't be too bad just to get to have. You know, try and run past the army, maybe go around the map, stop his opponent's economy, supplement the army. I mean, there's just a lot of ways they can be used. But both players are just down to the wire on this.
Oh god! Oh god! Why?
Loses the sentries! Oh, he lost like 3 sentries to that Widow Mine.
He knew those were there.
Neeb. Yeah. Neeb. Now here's the thing for Miso, right? I think the best thing Miso could have done was knock down those rocks on the run by and then lift it up and drop to the top of the Nexus. Because those Archons would have to go all the way around.
This is really scary. I mean, seriously, these Marines, it takes like 2 shots from an Archon and they're all dead when they're stimmed like this.
Yeah, I mean, he's running, not because of the Archons as well, because he knows the force fields are right there. Storm on top of this, feedbacks as well. But getting a little bit careless, leaving an opening back at home. This is going to be so annoying for somebody whose economy is so wretchedly bad in the first place.
Yeah, he's got to remember to pull those back every single time.
Oh man,
He's actually gonna come back and kill it.
I'm trying to think about what could Neeb possibly do in this situation, because
What? No.
he's storming his own army. He's committing suicide. All right, he's just saying fuck it. GG.
I mean, you just GG. I mean, there's.
That's one way to end the
Heroes of
misery.
Storm. You don't, you have to wait to surrender.
All right, so Miso will take the series 2-1. Congratulations to him.